What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big O back again with another video. Just want to take a second to go ahead and say thanks to everyone tuning in. Hope everyone is having a glorious day. And today I wanted to make a video talking about what to feed your mud or your musk turtle. A lot of the pellets that are specifically made for turtles in particular, most of them don't sink, and you'll find that most mud or musk turtles prefer eating at the bottom of their enclosures. I've seen many mud and musk turtles that have no problems at all swimming to the surface to get the typical floating pellets that you find most of the time for turtles. I do know that there is one pellet for sure. It's part of the Zoomed Natural line. They have a sinking pellet specifically made for mud and musk turtles. I think there's like a razorback musk on the label. But my only issue with that pellet is that it's the protein I don't think is high enough. For the most part, mud and musk turtles and just turtles in, I guess, the entire Kinosternidae family, they're pretty much 100% carnivore. And for an animal that is essentially completely a carnivore, a protein count in a pellet, oh, there goes my phone. A protein count of less than 40%, I'm not exactly sure what it is on the Zoomed Natural sinking pellet, but I feel like something that's less than 40% is just not going to be enough for a carnivorous animal. And that point kind of lends directly into what I want to talk about a little bit in this video, because I don't think there's any one particular pellet that has all the answers. As you can see here, I have a collection of a few different things, and for the last, I'd say, probably close to 7 years, I've really been experimenting with a lot of different pellets and different mixtures of pellets just to try to get sort of the right balance of diet. Because I mean, pellets are the easiest food to come across. If you can get your turtle to just eat pellets, it's going to be a nutritionally complete, diet. You should always supplement with different things and try to get your animal to have as varied a diet as possible. But prepared diets in pellet form usually can do a really, really good job of providing a complete nutritional balance, I guess, for whatever animal it is that you're trying to feed. But with all that being said, let's get into the way I feed my mud and musk turtles. As you see here, I have 2 packages of this product here. It's from Hikari. It's a brand that I really like. Been using it for a couple of years now, and they seem to be a quality product. Now we have the sinking carnivore pellets, and yes, I know it's specifically made for fish, but if you take a look at the ingredients, and there's the ingredients, so hopefully you can be able to see it all without the glare. And if you take a look at like the protein content, you'll see there's 47% protein. You're not going to really find, especially a pellet in this particular size, you're not going to find a better pellet for a carnivorous animal, a carnivorous aquatic animal, especially when it sinks. Trust me, I've looked. There's a couple out there that I feel like are pretty good too, but just the availability of this pellet and basically the trust that I've developed for this brand over the years, for me, makes this the #1 sinking pellet for a carnivore. Like I said, especially a pellet of this size, because it's pretty small, and you know, most mud and musk turtles stay pretty small, so it's a very manageable pellet size. They make another product, Hikari does, called Massivore Delight. It's essentially a larger version of this pellet. If your animals are a little bit bigger and they can handle something that's a little bigger. It's essentially the same formula, but in a larger pellet. It's called Massivore Delight. I've used it as well. It's, you know, I like it just as much as this. But as you can see, I have two of these, because what I do is I leave one, you know, as is, and I feed it straight up, and then the other I use to mix with a couple of other pellets to sort of just provide a little bit of variety. One of the other pellets that I like to use is this Hikari Sinking Cichlid Gold. It's a sinking pellet. It's designed specifically for carnivorous cichlids, and I mean, it's as with all Hikari foods, in my experience, I'm not even. It's just so small. It's not gonna show up that properly. But anyways, like I said, with all Hikari products, I've grown to pretty much just have like a trust in the brand, because it seems that all across the board they've really put the effort to have a quality product in all the foods that they make. So this is another sinking pellet that I really enjoy. And moving away from Hikari, we have this sinking shrimp pellet. This is from Omega 1. Omega 1 to me is probably my favorite brand, simply because of the ingredients that they use. And this is like on a lot of their foods. They'll use, it's kind of hard to see right there, but if you can see, the first few ingredients are whole shrimp, whole salmon, cod, and whole herring. Then something called a seafood mix, which I'm guessing is just mashed up krill, rockfish, shrimp, squid, clams, salmon eggs, and octopus. If you're a carnivorous turtle, that's like dream menu for you. You know what I mean? And again, quality ingredients, quality product. If you can see there, that's my thumb, and that's the pellet size. It's a pretty good size for smaller musks, and you know, it sinks right to the bottom, and it has a protein count of 38%. I think that's, yeah, there it is, 38%. So again, pretty high protein. It's less than the sinking carnivore pellets, but when you combine the three, you have 47%. You have, I think, 41% here, and then a 38% here. It provides a high protein diet. It provides variety. It provides pretty much all essential vitamins and nutrients and things like that the turtles need. Vitamin A, vitamin E, D3, and my turtles have always seemed to enjoy it. So I would highly recommend that you try it for your turtles. So again, like I said, I like to mix these three. So what I do is I take a container, something like this. I'm going to go ahead and open these. I just got these, so I haven't even opened them yet. And just pour the thing right in there. Open this one. And if I can get it open. Just gonna have to try to, there it is. Okay, so pour that one right in there. And I take this. And this one's gonna take a little bit more. If I can only find my knife. I know I just had it here. Bear with me for just 1 second. Here it is. So I take the knife. And I'll add the shrimp pellets. lid on. And now you have something that you can use as pretty much a staple for bottom feeding carnivorous animals. I also like to use this mix for my map turtle. I definitely recommend it for map turtles. They definitely enjoy kind of foraging on the bottom of the tank for their food as well, and they tend to be more on the carnivorous side. So since I feed my turtles 3 times a week, what I'll do is I'll one of the days I'll feed just this. One of the days I'll feed the mixture, and then the third feeding will consist of this, which is the Hikari wheat germ formula. Now, this particular one, this one doesn't sink, although you can find the same thing in a sinking formula. The reason I bought it in the floating formula is because I use it for all my turtles, and none of the turtles I have necessarily a problem with feeding on the surface, but I just usually get this one, the floating type. But you definitely want to, whether you get the floating or the sinking, you definitely want to include a wheat germ formula in your turtle's diet, at least in regard to the pelleted food that you're giving your animal. I would recommend that you include this as about 1/3 of that, because what the wheat germ is going to do, it has see, I always forget if it's the vitamin A or the vitamin E, but what it is going to be beneficial for the shell and skin health of the animal, especially if you have issues with shedding and retained scutes and things like that, and just like any sort of deformations in the shape of the shell. This will help you remedy that problem. Some deformations are not reversible, but you know, some can kind of slightly go back to normal. Either way, I would definitely highly recommend this particular wheat germ formula from Hikari for all of your turtles, regardless if they are herbivorous or carnivorous. And of course, can't forget the treats. This is just one example. This, of course, is the Zoomed red shrimp. Everyone knows about the red shrimp. Turtles go nuts over this stuff. You don't want to overfeed, even if it's a very carnivorous animal. This is basically just to be a treat for the animal, just to supplement the already existing diet. And this is just one example of a treat. There are other shrimp and krill products out there that you can definitely go ahead and use. This one is one of the more popular ones. There's a couple other brands that I've used, but I always have this in stock. And on top of things like pellets and treats like this, you wanna go ahead and add maybe grasshoppers and other insects. You know, small dubia roaches, crickets, superworms, waxworms, earthworms, you know, feeder fish, ghost shrimp, cut pieces of fish, little chunks of fresh shrimp. These are all things that carnivorous species of turtles will mostly readily accept. These are all things that I feed all my animals, and you know, they go right at them. Some of the things they like better than others, it seems, but they generally don't refuse anything I give them. This video was geared mostly towards the pellets that I use. There are of course other pellets that you can use out there. Like I said, the wheat germ has a sinking formula as well, and you know, there's other sinking pellets that Hikari and Omega-1 also have that you can incorporate. And as long as you provide a varied diet that is high in protein, and make sure you're getting the vitamin A, the vitamin E, the D3 and you're balancing, you know, the food properly between what would be a staple and would be a treat, I don't think that, at least in regards to what they're eating, your turtles will have any problems at all. So with all that being said, any questions, comments, or concerns about what I feed my animals, you can go ahead and leave them down in the comment section. And until the next one, happy reptile keeping. Peace.